The dead sinner, the Bible said he turned away from God. If he's dead, can someone who God declares is dead, can that person turn to God from idols? That's the question. Is that possible? If you say yes to that, you don't understand the gospel. And you better go examine yourself. Why? The person is dead. How is he going to do that? But that's exactly what the Bible just told us these people did. What did they do? How you turned to God. And when they turned to God, what did they do? They turned from something else. What? Idols. And that turning caused them to do the next thing. Serve. You see that right there? Now, the question to you and to God is, how did they turn? What made them? What gave them the ability to turn? Serve the living God, living and true God, and to wait for his son from heaven. So they got two priorities only. One is to serve. That's why you're here. The second one is your hope, is to wait. One is lifestyle, how you are living. Here is your purpose. This is your purpose now. The whole purpose of the believer. It's wrapped up in two little words. What is that? To serve. You have no other purpose in life. You say, but what about taking care of my family? That should be part of your service to God. Why? Because he commanded you to take care of your spouse. He commanded you to take care of your children. He commanded you to work. Serve and wait. The wait part is hope. That's all it is. You got a living hope. From heaven, whom God raised from the dead. Why? Even Jesus who delivers us. See, God, listen folks, he's just telling you, God had to raise him from the dead to do what? Deliver us. There is zero deliverance without Jesus Christ being raised from the dead. And if you haven't been raised from the dead, you still have zero deliverance. Now, God himself is going to tell you how these people were able to turn. Look at what he says right here. And he keeps saying this over and over and over again. Now watch this. How did those dead people, how does someone who is dead, that you God declared as dead, how can that person turn, which simply means repent, to God from their own idols? Everybody have idols, friends. You may not be bowing down to a statue of Mary and the saints, but you're probably bowing down to yourself, bowing down to your pride, bowing down to something. Everybody had idols before they came to Christ. This is how the sinner stopped sinning. How, God? And you notice he keep using the exact same word to address believers. Believers. You believers. In every single book, God is very, very consistent in everything he does. God did something. The he right here is God. What did God do for you? What did he do? He made alive. The first thing God does to the sinner is not have the sinner repent. The first thing that God does as part of salvation is not have the sinner repent. Why not? Because of the question that we asked back here. Do the sinner need to stop sinning to be saved? The real answer to that is absolutely not. Why not? Because dead people cannot speak and they can't stop sinning. If you are dead inside of sin, dead inside of your own trespasses, you know what God is saying, friends? He says, here's you. Here's a box. This box is called sin. And on the bottom of that box is called trespasses. On this side is called trespasses. And on this side is called sin. You know what God is saying? That's where you are. You are inside this box. You know what people do inside this box? You know what they do? They do all of that. And they do it all inside this box. You know what that means to God? Nothing. Why not? Because everybody inside that box is dead. How, God, are they dead? They're dead in sin and trespasses. And if they come over on this side, they're still dead in sin. They come to the bottom, they're still dead in trespasses. Do they ever get out the box? No. So does it matter if somebody inside of that box repent? Absolutely not. If they say a prayer? No. Why not? Because that's not how you get outside the box.